This guy's going to ditch. He's going to ditch. What's going on? Michelin Tires has just commissioned a survey to see how confident Canadians are feeling about winter driving. And one of the key findings of that survey is that even among drivers who are properly preparing their vehicle for wintertime, nearly 70% are still worried about winter driving. So in this video, let's see what we can do about that. I'm going to give you 3 of my personal best winter driving safety tips, and these come from about 500,000 kilometers of wintertime testing in all manner of vehicles across the vast highways of central and northern Ontario in real-life winter conditions. We're also going to talk to Carl Nadeau, a race car driver, winter driving expert, and performance driving instructor, for his take on my tips. After all, they come from years of advanced driver training from instructors just like Carl, and it turns out there's a common thread that connects these important tips to one another.
Carl Nadeau. I'm a stunt driver, precision driver, so I do commercial movies, stuff like that for Precision Drive. I'm also an instructor and Michelin winter driving expert.
So with your winter rubber on and your proper wipers and washer fluid for the season, you're off to a very good start. And regardless of what you drive and where you drive it, these 3 tips have literally saved my hide on one or more occasions. First, keeping your eyes up the road, like far, far up the road. That's my absolute top tip for winter driving, and one of the first things that an advanced driving instructor like Carl Nadeau teaches his students. And the reason he teaches his students to keep their eyes looking far, far away from where they are right now is because that gives the driver more time to react, it makes things come at the driver more slowly in their field of view, and it leaves a sometimes precious view of the pavement ahead that can give drivers telltale warning signs that things might be getting slippery up the road.
It's pride or if it's just bad habits, but people tend to follow way too close from the car in front of them. And on top of that, we should always look as far as we can in front of the car. But if you're tailgating another car, you can't see that much. So leave a decent gap. Do I see the color of the asphalt kind of changing, or is there weird reflection that don't feel normal? If it doesn't feel normal, there's probably not enough grip. So you need to have time to process the information and slow down while you can, and slow down in straight line.
Look closely, and you might even see the telltale reflection of an oncoming headlight reveal a patch of black ice with loads of room to spare. The second tip is to leave a lot of space between you and the traffic ahead. Not only does that maintain your ability to read the road's surface ahead of you for clues, but also more space gives you more margin for error, more room to stop, more time for you to decide how you'll handle a problem that you've spotted far up the road because that's where your eyes were looking. Maintain that space and guard it. I like to visualize 1 or more transport trucks as the absolute minimum distance that I want to maintain on the highway. The worse the weather, the more imaginary transport trucks I add.
It's crucial, the gap. We need it, because if you take your eyes off the road a fraction of a second to look at the radio and it slows down in front of you, you have no margin. So of course you're going to cause an accident.
Despite our natural tendency to clump together in traffic, keeping a generous gap actually becomes easier if you turn it into a game of keep away. Pretend the car ahead of you in traffic has cooties and don't get too close to it. Remember, if you can't see around that big SUV, or if you panic because the car ahead of you hit their brakes, you're following too closely and you need to leave a bigger gap. My third favorite tip deals with something called situational awareness, which basically means knowing what's going on around you at all times. With your mirrors properly set up, you can quickly sweep your eyes across all 3 rear view mirrors in about 1 second. By practicing this frequently, you'll be constantly aware of whether you could, say, safely make an emergency lane change to the left or right. That way, if you had to, you wouldn't have to second guess, which could prevent an accident. Basically, in these conditions, I want the answer to 2 questions available all of the time. 1, if I had to change lanes right now, could I? And 2, if I had to get off of the road right now, how would I do it? This could save your life if your windshield is ever destroyed by flying ice on the freeway, and it has saved my life and probably the lives of 2 friends for that specific reason.
You can see it's missing a piece of the grille there. The hood's dented in right there, it's hard to tell. And it's a piece took this mirror out. But the part that makes me feel real lucky is look where that hit the windshield. There's glass all over the inside too. I think if it was any faster, it probably would have gone right through there.
Here's Carl Nadeau with one of his favorite winter driving safety tips.
So for me, the reflex of being able to close my eyes and hit the hazard light, it should be natural. And unfortunately for 99% of drivers, it is not.
Try this test for yourself. Get into your car the next time you're going somewhere, close your eyes and try and find that hazard light button immediately. So to recap, set yourself up with proper winter tires from a reputable brand that you know and trust, and it is worth paying for quality when it comes to winter tires. From that basis, get into the practice of being an expert driver in the snow. Leave and maintain a big gap. Keep your eyes far up the road while maintaining that space, and use the view of the pavement surface to look for helpful clues. All of that as you keep your eyes moving, scanning, and constantly updating your brain on what's going on around you. And when you do all of those things, you'll see the common thread between all of these tips that I mentioned earlier: confidence. Now you're more aware. You've got extra safeties built into your driving environment that you create for yourself, and if you needed to avoid a sudden hazard or get off the road fast, you always know how you would do it. And that makes for a more confident driver. And a confident driver is a relaxed driver, and a relaxed driver is a safer driver. We do get what we pay for. Michelin X Ice are actually what I choose to put on my own vehicle.
Look in the driver's side door. There's always the OEM size tire that you need for your car. And when it's time to go to your tire specialist, ask for a tire that's going to last at least 3-4 winters, and a tire that's going to be high quality. There's no point in buying something cheap that's going to last like 20,000 kilometers, while there's product like the X-Ice Snow can do 60,000 kilometers and grip and perform during 60,000 kilometers. So the cheapest advertised tire is not the cheapest tire in the long run. So that's something people can pay attention.
Well, maybe you learned something new there. Maybe that was a good refresher, or maybe you've been driving in the winter for years and you've been doing all of those things all along, in which case, keep it up. Please consider sharing this video with the younger and less experienced winter drivers in your circle. That's who I made this video for. My name is Justin Pritchard. Until next time, take care and drive safe.